Hey guys, sorry about the delay. I'm having technical difficulties. For some reason, my brand new webcam is not working, so I had to quickly swap out everything and transition to old school cell phone, which is working. So I am officially live in this event page. I don't know what happened. My PC is just not reading the webcam, and instead of restarting because we're already late, I just said, let me just switch things out and jump into our stream because I know you guys are waiting. So I appreciate you guys all waiting. Thank you guys all for jumping on. I know things are a little different, as I explained before we took our 4th of July break. We're going to be changing things up a little bit just for peace of mind, because we had some weird things happen while we were after our, I think it was the stream before our last stream, and it kind of made me decide to switch to doing our live trainings through an event, so that only the people who we invite can jump onto the feed and post their comments, so we won't have to deal with any lewd comments. So I appreciate you guys checking in. I appreciate you guys sharing the event and helping to promote and get this event out there. I hope everyone had a chance to reload their page and stay connected with us here. I feel like everything is just working against me tonight. First, I was afraid that the ice cream truck wouldn't disappear and we would have to listen to ice cream truck music for the background of our video, and then it left, and as soon as I hit the button to start the live stream a little bit before 8, it was just like brant, brant, brant. So finally got this working, so we are ready to go tonight. We're actually back from our 4th of July break. We took a little break last weekend. I know you guys had vacations and barbecues and trips. I saw you guys sharing your pictures, so I appreciate you guys all sharing and letting me feel hungry. I put on like 50 pounds just by watching the mashed potatoes, the chicken, the french fries, the burgers. But I hope you guys had a great time, and I hope you guys are back and ready to learn. So now I mentally have to switch back to our cell phone, so that the cell phone situation, so I can figure out how to operate everything. But hey, Miss Jessica. Okay, so things are coming in. I see you guys all coming in on the stream. I have Miss Jessica, Miss Renee on. Hey guys, thank you for joining. So after 4th of July, it was actually great because it gave us a chance to, just kind of dive in. Hi, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you can see the stream because I know there were some questions before, so I'm glad you can actually see us. Hi. So, yeah, 4th of July was great. I actually just kind of took it easy, spent some time with family. Did you guys do anything special for the 4th of July? The weekend of, I had an event with one of my team members. I was kind of devastated because it was a good problem because we were so busy that we couldn't I couldn't stop to take pictures. But I didn't get any pictures of the event, so I was kind of sad because you guys know I like to post the events on Facebook and share with you guys. But I didn't get a chance to share any of the photos. But it was a great event. We partnered with the community for a block party, and I was doing a raffle. I was we had products for sale. And we were talking and sharing the opportunity. She was also an organizer of the event, so she was doing her thing, holding down the event, and just helping the other vendors and doing so much stuff. But I was sharing some of the pictures that I've been posting of events that I've been doing, little small business events, little ways that I promote my business, and I wanted to take some time to share with you guys. Hey, Miss Sandra, welcome. So a couple of you were asking a couple of different questions, and if you'll bear with me because my notebook is on the other side of the room. There were a couple of questions that I wanted to see if I can help answer because the questions were really flowing in. I couldn't answer them all, and I said, I would rather do a video and post and share where I can talk to you guys. And again, if you have questions, this is like an open forum. It's not just me speaking to you guys. If you have questions, I can see them. So post them in the comments below, and I'll be able to answer them. So for events, what I like to do a lot of we call them like street events, sidewalk events. I'll usually partner with a local business. Sometimes I ask for permission. Sometimes if I know them and I shop their offer, I'm like, I'll be outside. I've got some samples for your customers. Make sure you guys come see me. And I sit on my table. So a lot of you were asking, you know, what do I say and what do I do to create events? It depends on the situation. It depends on where you are. It depends on where you live. It depends on who you know and how your community operates. So it's going to be different for everyone. I'm here in the city, so there are laws about like vending on the street. So I know I can't sell anything. But if I have an event, in the past, I used to partner with a small diner in Brooklyn. They're closed now. But gentrification. But it was a really small diner, and after the Saturday morning rush, they didn't really have a large crowd, and I've actually met quite a few of the ladies on our team through those events, as well as some awesome customers. But I would come in with the owner's permission, and I asked them if I could put some baskets on display. You know, I want to have a party for my customers, but your customers are more than welcome to participate as well. I'll be doing a raffle and giving away some baskets, but I want to invite some guests to come and have breakfast or brunch or coffee, you know, whatever. And you know, the owner would say, okay, that's fine. And usually, I mean, I would say always I tried to make it an event that benefits the business that I'm working with as well. I mentioned in the post that I was talking about before, Miss Milagros mentioned to me, she shared this idea with me because sometimes it can be intimidating, and I was intimidated. Even though I've done events in the past with businesses, I was still sort of intimidated about asking about events. And one of the things Milagros shared with me was, you know, your business offering to partner with another business, you're an asset to the community. You're bringing events, you're bringing a crowd. And I was talking to another friend, and they were saying, yeah, don't go into a restaurant where there's nobody sitting. You always go to the restaurant that looks full. And I was like, why? If I want to go in and get my food, or if I want to be served fast, then I don't mind going to the empty one. She was like, no, you don't go to the empty diner. You go to the one that's full, because at least you know the food is good, the food is moving. You see the people in there, so you know it's okay to go in. And I thought about it, and I said, you know, when we partner with businesses and we put up the table and we get a crowd going and people are coming to see what we're doing, we're generating business for that business, because people will come just to see what's going on, or people passing by outside will stop and say, oh, you know, looks like something is going on in there. Looks like there are a lot of people in there. The food is good. And I said to you guys, I like to use food places, one, because I love food and I'm greedy, but also because of, you know, restaurants tend to want to get people inside. And if they have people, if you ever notice, my boss actually pointed this out to me the other day. If you ever notice, in restaurants, they tend to sit people by the windows first, so that people on the street will see that there are people there and come in. They tend not to put you in the back and make their restaurant establishment look empty. They tend to seat you towards the front. Hey, Miss Lisa. Don't know if I said hi before, but welcome. So they tend to sit you in the front because they want people to pass by and see people inside and feel that it's okay to go in. So when we partner with restaurants and businesses in our community for events, we as representatives are in there standing around. So we're bringing in our guests and our customers. So it helps generate business for the establishment that we're working with. So I always go in and I ask if it's okay if I invite some people to come and have breakfast, lunch, brunch, or whatever. I order. I'll do one of two things. What I used to do in the past was order a bunch of finger food, you know, finger sandwiches. I don't know, not so much cheese and crackers in diner situations. I'm trying to think, but like trays of chicken nuggets and fries and little wraps and sandwiches, little things that people can eat with their fingers. So I would, you know, order a couple of those things if I was having an event inside, and I would invite my customers, my friends, my team, and you know, just put it out there. And I would also let the owner know that his customers can come over too. And you know, there are always people who are sitting like, what's happening over there? And we would say, you know, come over, it's all right. Just be careful especially in a restaurant establishment, you don't want to interrupt people's eating to, you know, say, hey, you know, we're having an event over here, come on over. But if they were looking, I would say, you know, come on over, it's all right. We don't bite. Welcome. But I would, you know, put up a nice display, and I tend to have a little sign that says free samples or free raffle or something for free, so that people know that there's something that they can get out of it. It's not just to purchase, because a lot of times people, especially if they don't see the price on things, they become afraid, so they just kind of hang back. They hang back because they're afraid that the price will be too exorbitant. So I usually put free samples, and that kind of breaks the ice so that they come over and ask what's free. And outside the establishment, if I'm inside, I like to put a sign or maybe balloons, something that says, you know, Avon event or Avon party, walk-ins welcome. I used to have a sign back here, but I don't know where it is now. I should have pulled it out before I started. But so when I'm doing indoor events, I'll do that. I haven't done them in a while, because lately I've just been doing street events. When the weather is nice, I'll usually set up a table outside of the establishment. It's a little easier because I can, because I'm not in the establishment space, so I can function a little differently. I'm a shy person. I am not a loud person, so I tend to, you know, set up my little table as you guys saw in the photos, with my tablecloth that says Avon, a little sign that says free Avon samples. There's a question about the sign. I just printed the sign from Word, and I put it in a picture frame that, I mean, you can get them anywhere. The dollar store, Dollar Tree, Walmart, Amazon, anywhere that sells home items. It's just a regular picture frame that I put it in. I try not to do glass, because I've done glass in the past, and for some reason I always end up putting something on it in my trunk and it shatters, and then I have glass pieces everywhere. So I try to find picture frames that are either plastic or have the like the little clear sleeve or no sleeve at all, so it's just my sign at the front. So that's where I got the sign. But yeah, I'll put up my little signs. In the past I've done balloons. Lately you guys have been seeing me do what I call my kamikaze runs, my power hours, where I'm just heading out for like a short period of time, an hour to 2 hours max, and then getting back into either my job or back to training or back to phone calls. My schedule has sort of evolved where I don't have long stretches of time. I used to do half-day events, like long full-day events, and I haven't done them as much as I would like to lately, just, you know, because of other things happening in my life. But for these short runs, I definitely have the tablecloth and the sign. For the longer runs, I might have extra signs placed out on the street with arrows pointing to where I am. I might set up the balloons to attract attention, but when I'm doing the fast events, I just don't have a lot of time to set up, so I don't do all of those things. So what else? There were questions about the table. I will post a link to the table. It's just a regular folding table. I like the ones with the handle because I'm tiny, and as you guys can see, I don't have a lot of muscle to be lifting those giant metal folding tables. My table is plastic. It folds up in half. They have two. They have a square table that folds into a rectangle, and then they have a rectangular table that just folds into a smaller rectangle, so it's like half size. Either one of those works. Work with what you have. I started with the folding table because when I first started, I didn't have a car. So I needed something that could fold up and fit in a shopping cart. So if I needed to pack it up and jump on the bus and go where I needed to go, or if I had a ride somewhere, you know, you can't infiltrate somebody's car with all your stuff when you get a ride. But usually I was able to just throw the little folding table in the back, a couple of brochures, and then when I was coming back, I could always just take the table on the bus with me, so it was light and easy to carry. So I hope that answers your questions about the events that I do. Keep it simple, guys. You don't need a ton of stuff. I've run the gamut when it's come to events, from having a full table with displays, the giant $100 deluxe starter kit on the table with a binder of information, training material, the balloons, like I said, the signs, down to just the basket with samples, one sign, my clipboards. Clipboards are a must. You guys can use the raffle drawing forms, because those will help you collect information. If you don't want to use the clipboards, you can also use your phone to collect people's information. The clipboards are just faster because you can give everyone a clipboard and talk to the group. Sometimes you're talking to one person one-on-one. You can have an intimate conversation. You could do the phone thing. It's a little easier. But especially, again, depending on where you are, I'm in the city. Sometimes I'll have 3 to 5 people kind of gathered around and listening. And as like at the event that I had with my friend, I was the only one at the table for quite a while. And sometimes there were a group of people, sometimes 3, sometimes 5. And I would just give everyone a clipboard and I could say, okay, you know, question 1 is this. Everybody would write. Question 2 is this. Everyone would write. And I would just go through the spiel as if I was talking to one person, but to a group. If we were all on the phone, it gets a little difficult. So the clipboards are absolutely super helpful. So, yeah, that's basically my events. You can also partner with Avon Advantage partners. Avon has really great discount offers. They've partnered with companies like T-Mobile, Sprint. Now we just got Staples, which is awesome because the Staples like 3 blocks from my job, and that's where I get all my papers and my printing labels are from. So we've partnered with Staples, so you can reach out to the businesses that Avon has already partnered with, and see if they can let you set up a little table to promote the partnership that you already have, and help their customers to save. So when you're talking to businesses, sell the benefits that you're bringing to them. You're not asking them if you can set up a table. You're offering to set up a table and have a community event for them, or a customer appreciation event for them, or a promotional event for them. For Shop Small Saturday, Miss Lisa on my team, she partners with a local store that she frequents. We put up the tent, we put up the balloons, he has his Shop Small signs, and we encourage our customers to come out. We do raffles and we do giveaways. We talk to his customers and we do giveaways for his customers, but it gets people to come in. So you could do diners, you can do other stores, nail salons, hair salons, barbershops. I once did an event with a barbershop for Valentine's Day, and we had little baskets for the guys to buy for the women in their lives. Get creative with it. There's no limit. You don't have to do exactly how I do it. I've pulled ideas from other representatives that I've heard, and I've even, over the years, I've changed so much from when I first started. So there's like a constant evolution. Just start. I've also done events where I've had my basket, or sometimes I'll just have, like this is actually a bag that's ready to go. This is a tote bag that I just kind of walk with. I have one for myself and one for my sister. It's full of brochures. This is actually one of the Avon bags, but it's just a tote bag of brochures. As I mentioned to you guys, I've been training for the Avon 39 breast cancer walk. I still need donations, by the way, so click on the link on my page if you are interested in donating. But I've been working on just exercising more because I'm going from a sedentary lifestyle to trying to do a 39-mile walk. So me and my sister have been going for walks in the day, and I prepared these bags so that as we're walking, we can stop and talk to people and share a brochure. We can toss the brochures. So don't put like a rigid idea of what events are around what you're doing. You can, I've done events with Miss Janet where we've gone shopping. I've done them with Miss Lisa as well. I've been banned from doing it with Miss Lisa because when we go into Costco's, it's a madhouse and I end up broke. I'm on a budget now, so I can't do it anymore. But we've done events that we call, we've coined the term shop specting, where we're shopping, but we've got the brochures in the car and, we're just talking to people as we go. So that's an event too. But the main idea, the key is to just promote your business, promote yourself, to talk to people, because this business isn't going to grow if you don't promote and share and talk to others. You need to let people know that you're in business. We do that through social media, but we also can do that through the people we're interacting with on a day-to-day basis. So that's sort of my segue into what I wanted to talk with you guys tonight. Miss Kathleen says she saw this setup and it was nice. We had great success. Yes, the events are successful because, like I said, the key is just to talk to people and share, and promote. So it's, a lot of people aren't used to someone providing a service. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. I always have sample packs or samples. You guys have seen my videos for the sample packs that I use. You can also just use loose samples if you have those as well. Whatever you have, work with what you got. But when I do the events, I'm giving free samples and I'm doing a free raffle. Lately I've been just calling people, like, I'll do the raffle drawing and I'll ship it to you, because in the past I've done raffles and when I'm calling the person, they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm out of the country, and all kinds of things. But now I'm like, you know what, go about your life. I'm gonna do the raffle later. I'll give you a call. I'll give the person who wins a call and I'll ship you your prize. But you could do the raffle drawing there at the end of your event. You can raffle off products that you have in stock. You can raffle off a like a gift card, a gift certificate, so that they can get X value worth of free products. Just make it fun, but you're offering a service to these people. So a lot of people are kind of caught off guard when I'm giving away free samples, because they're like, wait, what do I have to do? Is it really free? So even in that, you could just strike up a conversation with them. But you just want to get to talk to these people, get to know the people in your community. I've met some amazing people. Almost 90% of my customers have been generated from the events that we've done. As I've shared with you in the past, I don't have a large family, and I didn't have a large customer base to start with from my family and friends. All of my friends were in high school like I was when I first started. So I had like maybe 2 customers from school, which is not enough to float a business. So I had to go out and I had to find customers. And I did that by just, getting out in the community and talking to people. Don't be afraid, because that's the other question I get, oh, is it scary? How do you overcome talking to people? At first, I was afraid, because my mind was set on, what are they going to think of me? How will people feel about me? What are they thinking about me being out here? Am I going to scare or offend them, or, whatever? And as I started to do it more often, I got over that, because I realized a couple of things. First, again, that I was doing a service. The amount of people that I met who were like, oh my gosh, yes, I love Avon. I haven't seen a rep. I need my glimmer sticks. I need my skin so soft. I hear Avon has fashion and jewelry now. I need a book. I need a book. I need a book. Meeting those people made me feel like, oh my gosh, yes, these people are looking for representatives, and because we're all so shy and afraid, they can't find us. So, that helped me overcome that issue. The women that I've met who I've helped to get started with a business of their own, when I've seen the things that they've done with their business, the things that they've accomplished for themselves and their family, it made me, look at what I was doing differently. And I realized that I was being selfish a little bit. It is what it is. I felt like I was being selfish by keeping the opportunity to myself, because I was like, I'm hoarding this. There's so many potential customers out there, and because I'm afraid to just ask someone if they want a brochure, there's a person out there who could need this. And I think about my mom and my family, and I think about what the business meant to me as a person growing up, and I'm like, I need to get the word out there, because if the person who shared the business with my sister didn't, I don't know, like, I'm at the point now where being an Avon representative is a part of who I am. It's a part of my being. It's helped me to become more confident, practice my public speaking. I'm still working on it, obviously, but hey, just to meet all of you guys, amazing friends, and Avon family, it's a part of my DNA now. It's helped me to advance in my architectural career. It's helped me in school, in, taking on leadership positions and leadership roles. The stuff that I've learned here has just become a part of who I am. And every once in a while, I think, if that person looked at my sister and said, I don't know if I want to share with her. I feel kind of scared today. Or, you know what? I'm not going to share with her. I'm going to share with the next person. I would have missed this opportunity. Oh my gosh, being in the Avon commercials, and the trip to Tahiti, and the trip to the Bahamas that we just won, being able to travel all over the world, things that I've done with this business all would not have existed if that person had said, maybe next time. So before I go out, I still get intimidated and I still, get shaky. And there are times when my boss laughs at me during my lunch break where I'm like, okay, I'm going out. And then I turn back and I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. But when I start to feel that way, a lot of times I'll think about where the things that I wouldn't have been doing the last few years that have become possible because someone else shared this business with my sister. So, and keep that in mind too, because you might share with the person who says, no, it's not for me, but they might know someone else who could benefit. And my sister wasn't even thinking, my sister can use the extra income. She, not like, oh yeah, Georgie's looking for a job. She wasn't. She brought the stuff home, put it down. She was given some brochures and an order book in a bag. She came home and she put it down, and I got into her stuff and I made the decision myself. So you guys hear me say that the brochures have legs? They really do, because that's how I found them. My sister didn't say, hey, this is a great opportunity for you to help pay for your college tuition. She came home like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do something with those brochures when I get a chance, but I got into it before she could toss it out. So don't knock sharing the opportunity, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know who you will inspire to be the next Milagros, Molly Bibb, Lisa Wilbur, whoever in this business, the next you. So think about your stories as well, and how far you've come and what you've been able to do with your business as well. So those were the things I wanted to share with you regarding the events. Don't be afraid. Think about who you can inspire. Think about how far you've come with your business. And what I kind of wanted to talk to you about tonight was the whole idea of this hashtag side hustle. Hey everyone, so after some technical difficulties in our ANTS team training on our Facebook live stream, I am doing a separate video now to just rehash and kind of run through the topics that we covered, just to make sure that everyone gets all the information that we were sharing. So tonight's topic of discussion was actually based on the hashtag side hustle. And as I was mentioning on the call, this is something that we've been seeing a lot of recently, partially because the millennials have shifted the game. They are working on a different mindset, but also because overall, as a result of the way the economy has been, the way finances have been, the idea of having a side hustle has become more common. So we were talking about this the other day, and we were saying that with, for me, I was actually out of college in the 2000s. So for me, this all began in 2000s. The the student loans and being out on your own and the debt that came with adulting. But from what we can discern, it's actually something that started way back in the 90s. There was sort of a decline in earnings and a pseudo recession. Not as bad as it was back in the Great Depression, but something was happening in the economy, and people were starting to see a change and a shift in the way we thought about our careers. In the past, there was sort of a mindset that was established where you would start a career when you're 16 or 18, and you would continue through, collect your pension, and retire in that same profession, maybe even in that same company. But this is happening less and less often. People were changing jobs more frequently, and it became more commonplace for people to job hop more often. Studies have shown today that the average person will work with 20 different companies, not to mention industries. So it's more common for people to be in different fields and different professions and to change around a lot, whereas in the past the linear structure was more common. So there's been a shift in the mindset of people. We've also seen people, we were saying that as the younger generation, we were watching our parents and the elders, the adults in our life who, thought that they would be in a career or at a job for years, fired a year or two before they were supposed to receive their pension, just so that they don't earn their pension. We've seen tax structures and corporate structures change, and things that people thought that they would have when it came time to retire, they're realizing that it wasn't a part of their life anymore. It wasn't a part of the tax structure. It wasn't a part of their rewards and benefits for being an employee. So there were all these changes that were happening that were causing people to shift their mindset and really take another look at this side hustle. So now we have this trending hashtag side hustle, and I wanted to talk to some of I wanted to talk about some of the benefits that are occurring, that people are realizing as to why this hashtag has been trending so much. For me, I could tell you, I've been in this company for about 13 years. I've been running my side hustle for about 13 years. And for me, I've seen a couple of different things happening. First and foremost, when I first started, a lot of people didn't understand why I wanted to do something in addition to my architectural career. They, thought that I should just focus on that it was enough to have one career. And I got a lot of questions of people wondering why I would want to do two things. A lot of people didn't understand the benefit that I saw and that I was receiving from having another job outside of my career. But I can tell you, even in my short span with this entrepreneurial mindset, I've been seeing cases where, my many internships, I've entered in maybe 3 to 4 different companies. Even when the internships changed, one thing that was always consistent for me was actually my side hustle. So for me, I've actually seen what a lot of other millennials and a lot of women out there are seeing in the workplace, and it's that the previously determined ideals that had been formed over the years aren't quite what they seem to be. People are realizing that there are other options, that you need other options, that you need a plan B, that you need a backup, that you don't necessarily have job security in a salary or hourly wage position. Whereas if you have a business where you're the boss and you're in charge of determining your hours and your income, you can have more control over what's going to be consistent for you. So people are starting to see more consistency actually in the side hustle than in their career. So I wanted to talk to you and share some of the reasons why this hashtag side hustle is trending so much. As I was looking into it and doing research, there was a lot of things that I didn't even realize were key factors in why a lot of women especially are realizing why it's so important to have this side hustle as opposed to the way it was when I was first getting started. And I want to share some tips for how you can benefit, whether you're thinking about starting a side hustle or if you've already started and you're thinking about sharing with other people how you can go about doing that. So the first thing that I noticed when we were talking about hashtag side hustle was the appeal. People are getting into this trend in having another part-time job in addition to their full-time, or addition to another part-time job, for a variety of reasons. The first is actually looking like flexibility, and that's something we all know, the power of setting your own hours and determining when and where you work and how you work, and what your goals are, and working towards your specific goals as opposed to the goals of a company or corporation. People are really loving the flexibility, and when asked, that is one of the things that stand out the most. People want to be in charge and be in control of more. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the younger generations watched the older generations as they were having things happen in their life that they couldn't control because companies, corporations, tax structures, and laws were changing, and sort of breaking apart their dreams right in front of their eyes. So I know I had that in my life, and I sat and I watched that, and I saw the devastation that it caused, and in the back of my mind I was like, I don't want to have to go through that. I need to have something in the background. So the flexibility of knowing that you don't have to stick to what other people say. For me, I was in college. I needed to have my time be flexible so that I could do my studies, that I could focus on my finals and my midterms when I needed to. And for me, it was scary to think about having to go into work when I should be studying for my finals, or have to explain to my boss that I need days off. And I had friends who were complaining about not being able to get the time off so that they could study and put into their schoolwork. And for me, I was afraid of having to do that because I was on scholarship and I couldn't afford to flunk out. So this was something that was in the very, very present in the forefront of my brain. And I know that there are others who are starting to see this as well. So flexibility is one of the number one reasons why the side hustle is appealing to people. The other reason was something that was actually surprising to me, something that I had noticed. For women especially, we're talking about this argument of how women aren't being paid equally to men. There's a wage gap according to gender. And with a side hustle where you're the boss and you're determining your income, that problem isn't as prevalent. It's not as much of an issue because you're determining what your income could be, what it should be. And by setting that, you're breaking the mold of having someone else set how much you earn, and you're starting to be able to earn how much you're worth. So there's a huge shift and a huge trend, because when women are realizing that, instead of going through the corporate system of having to be in a company where I have to fight to earn what I deserve, I can go out and start my own business, and I could just start that off the bat. And another thing that people are seeing is that when women are starting their own business, they're employing other women and employing other minority groups. And with that precedent set that you get paid according to your skills and your capabilities as opposed to your gender, then they're hiring other people and they're increasing the wage overall in their economy, in their profession, or in their field. So the other competitors who are still stuck in this old school boys club mindset of not wanting to pay equally, they're stuck in a they're getting stuck, and they're starting to have to increase their wages to match. Because if you're a candidate who's given the option of working for company A or company B, and company A wants to pay you less because you're female, where company B is looking at your skills and capabilities and they want to pay you more, you're going to gravitate towards company B. So if company A wants to stay competitive in the job market, they have to provide equal wages as well. So there's this whirlwind of women, female entrepreneurs that are coming up and starting businesses of their own, and starting to employ others and really have a huge impact on the job market. So this is another way that the side hustle has been empowering women in this fight to earn a equal wage according to gender. And it was something that I didn't realize, but that flexibility to set your own income empowers you not only just for yourself, but to empower your community to set a precedent for this equal pay. Another thing, continuing on this mindset of principles that were passed down for generations that are now obsolete, is the idea that you have to be in business for X amount of years, and spend 3 to 5 years developing a network, or mentoring and being trained under someone else, so that when they finally decide to retire, you could inherit their network. So this is something that women are looking at and saying, okay, you know what? Women, millennials, and all these side hustle people are realizing is that that's an old school way of looking at it. Why should I spend 3 to 5 or 10 years developing a network when I can get started with my own business right now, and I could build off of the network that I have and expand from where I am. With the advent of social media, it's actually getting a lot easier to do that. So you don't have to, be a part of the country club and, make the deals on the golf course as much as in the past. You can still develop a name and brand yourself through social media, without having to spend all those years building a network. So people are also seeing that and taking advantage of that and leveraging that to start their businesses and achieve their dreams and their goals. Another thing that I saw when I was reading was that a large percentage of women, they're actually the largest group of contributors to childcare. I don't know why this didn't dawn on me. It does make sense, but I guess I'm guilty myself even of being in that old school mindset where, the male was the breadwinner of the home, and I figured that the man would be the biggest contributor to childcare costs. But there are studies that have shown that women are actually the largest contributor. And after I thought about it, I said, yeah, it makes sense. So if women are the largest contributor to childcare expenses, then of course women want to have that extra income so that they can afford that extra childcare. So it's making sense to more women to have that side job, so that, you know, whether it's a full-time or part-time job that they're involved in, the extra income from the side job can help go towards the childcare needs, so that they could stay in their field and stay in their profession that they've chosen, but still be able to afford to, you know, the school and education and whatever additional childcare needs that they have. So a lot of women are seeing the benefits of having that extra side income to be able to aid them in their contribution to childcare. Another thing that we're seeing is that women have been shown to have more change and more ups and downs in their career. They're changing offices more frequently, they're changing careers more frequently than men. I'm not sure what the exact ratios are, but it's been shown that women are have more fluidity in their careers. So as I was saying earlier, if you're in a position where you're realizing that your salary or your hourly job isn't really as consistent as people told you it was supposed to be, the other option is to create that for yourself through your side hustle. And your side hustle actually becomes that element of consistency in your life. And women are starting to see that. And as I said for myself, although I've changed a lot of internships and a lot of firms, I've been with my side hustle for over 13 years. It has been consistent, and it has been what's kept me at the times where there were lulls in the work that needed to be done. When I was in between jobs, I found that I can always fall back on my business. And because I was the boss, of course, I was going to fire myself. So it was always there as long as I wanted it to be. So those are the things that are the biggest reasons that the side hustle is appealing to women. The next thing that I realize is that people are not just seeing the appeal, but of, you know, what is to come now, but they're looking at the possibilities in the future, the possibilities for additional income. Yes, if you have your main career, that income is set for the most part. It's not often that you could say, okay, you know, the holidays coming, I need extra to cover gifts, I need a raise. Oh wait, you know, I need to go on vacation next month, can I have another raise? There's a lot of companies have increments set for how often or how frequently you can ask for a raise. But when you're the boss and you're determining your income, there's more flexibility in choosing when you want to give yourself a raise. So that additional income is a possibility for the future. The covering childcare costs, saving up for retirement, paying off student loans, whatever you make on your through your side hustle is additional, so you could apply it to whatever you want. Travel, vacation. For me, when I first started, it was tech, so there was so just having that additional income opens the doors for a multitude of possibilities. The next is job replacement. A lot of people, when surveyed, would love to be able to leave their full-time job and do something that they enjoy. So the idea that 80% of people, I should say, would want to be their own boss, as was shown in the Avon study, that 66% of people, when interviewed, would leave their full-time job to do something that they enjoy, which is a study given by Bentley University. These are large percentages of people who would like to be able to change their careers and do something else. So the idea that you can work on something in the evenings, on weekends, and not have to give up the current source of income, but you can build up your business and your dream in your time, so that in the future you'll be able to do these things like leave your job and be your own boss. That possibility is something that's in the forefront of people's minds. It also has a built-in clientele, because again, you're the boss. You work with and provide a service to the people you know. You're it's not like other professions, like I said earlier, where you have to work with this established network, you can decide your clientele, and your product or your service can determine the clientele that you work with. So people are excited about that, and there's a an interest in the passion with their opportunity. A lot of people, when they start a side hustle, it's something that they love to do. It's, something that they enjoy doing on the side, a hobby that they've taken to the next level, or an interest, or a something for maybe social reasons that they've gotten into this side business for. So they're able to turn their passion into an opportunity for something greater. So those possibilities are striking to people, and that's one of the reasons that they're drawn to this idea of the side hustle. So in all of the research that I was doing, when I was looking at all of these factors, there were two keys that really stood out to me. And these are things that I think we need to share as entrepreneurs and as CEOs of our own businesses. We need to share more, because I realize that a lot of this old school ideals are still out there, and people are still sticking to them, even if they're not even seeing them pan out in their own life. Because when I do events and people will say things to me like, oh, well, I can't work on commission because it's not guaranteed that you'll earn. And I'm like, well, if you go into your day job and you don't work, do you still get paid? They're like, well, no, of course not. And I'm like, well, if your company decides to let you go tomorrow, are you still guaranteed to get paid for the rest of the month? And they're like, no, you're fired. Of course you're not guaranteed to get paid once you're fired. Then I'm like, okay, well, where's this job security that you're talking about? But when I share, I have gone through situations where companies were downsizing, and the work was decreasing. I get that as a business owner, this happens. But to know and be able to expect that and anticipate those changes, and know that I have the security blanket of my side business, and that I was still able to pay my bills when I was out of a job for my career, and that I was still able to pay down my debt despite not having a career. For me, that was security that I saw as in my life. So when I share that with people, it's kind of like an eye opener to them. So two of the keys that I wanted to encourage people to share, and just get out there so that people can understand, is that there are things that women are looking for that they're seeing in having their own side hustle. The first thing is mentors and connections. When you're your own business, and when you're your own entrepreneur, there's so much more interaction with others. And with my business, at least, I know that the mentorship and the coaching and the development is built in. So when you get in, there's sort of a system that helps you to get acclimated and learn and grow and establish and develop yourself. But even in other businesses, because the side hustle has become more popular, a lot of entrepreneurs are connecting with others that are going through what they went through, so that they can help educate them and help them not have to suffer through the same trials that they were able to find solutions for. So women are interested in having mentors, people to guide them, and provide support for them as they're going through their daily situations. Just like with mothers, we have a lot of mommy groups, because women can connect with other women who understand what they're going through, and maybe have gone through it themselves, or are there in that situation, so they could bounce ideas off of each other. But it's creating a system of mentorship and connection, and it's people are just drawn to connecting with others, and connecting with other people that are like them and that understand them. So with entrepreneurship and these side hustles, to connect with other entrepreneurs and connect with other people who are in the same situation as you, who are balancing their schedule and time management, and how to find clients and all of those things, it's creating camaraderie, and women especially are drawn to that. The second thing is, another big thing was, like I said earlier, the ownership of your own schedule. To be able to set your own time and control your calendar is super important to people, and it's an aspect that is one of the biggest reasons, that flexibility of why people are starting their side hustles. So if those things appeal to you, or if you know people that those things appeal to, these are reasons that maybe a side hustle might be for you. So now it just boils down to finding something that works for you, finding something that you enjoy, and start with the stuff that you like, start with the stuff that you're already interested in, and then see what you can do to take it to the next level, and encourage people around you to do that as well. And encourage people to share the importance, that of not sticking with these old school mindsets and standards, and empowering other people to break out of the mold and do and be the things that they want to be. Because a lot of the companies that we're watching now that are growing, whether they're tech companies, most of them are tech companies, but tech companies or new innovative companies, they're developing out of what started in people's garages and people's basements, that things that are starting out as side hustle. So encourage people to be more open to the idea of a side hustle. And some of the tips that I wanted to give you, whether you're either just starting out or trying to figure things out for yourself, I have 4 tips that I wanted to share. The first thing, you guys know I am big on your dreams, but I was reading an article, and one of the things that it mentioned was that you have to know or have an idea of what it is that you're creating. Don't just get into a side hustle for the extra income. Have it in your mind to create something. Have a dream or goal, whether it's long term or short term. And it's okay if it changes, but have an idea that you're creating something, not just working. Because, like I said, with your side hustle, you're the boss. You have the flexibility to determine what it is that you're going to make for yourself. Make it be something that you're creating for yourself, for your community, to meet the need of someone else. And that will really help you to kind of narrow down and focus in on what you can do. The next thing is to dedicate your time to it. A lot of entrepreneurs who are doing the side hustle are working evenings and weekends. It's recommended that you can dedicate your days off to working your side hustle, because those are the time you could get in easily 5 hours a day, 10 to 16 hours into your business by working on those days off. So whereas where they might be like the days for you to binge watch on Netflix, or where in the past they were laundry days, you can really get some driving force into that time that you have, and put it towards your business and towards your goal and what you're creating. And that's the time that a lot of us entrepreneurs are using. I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day about these guys who are building companies from scratch, and they dedicate like 90 hours a week to building their companies. So sometimes there's a mindset that, oh, if it's a side business, you don't have to put as much time into it because it's only a side thing. But or the opposite, that if it's, I get a lot of people who tell me, oh, I don't have time for that because I already have a full-time job, or I already have a family, or I'm already in school. So I would say, it takes time to grow businesses. These guys who are professional business growers and developers, they put their time into their business. But, those guys are working all-nighters and crazy hours. With the side hustle, you do have some more flexibility where you can work it around and into the schedule you already have. But do keep in mind that you do need to dedicate time to it. Don't start something, not put the time into it, and then get upset if it flops because you just didn't put in the proper time for it. So make sure that you have a schedule. If you find that your schedule is overwhelming, when I started, I was a student. I also did this business while I was carrying out my internships, in addition to being a student and having to study. So it's super important to have a calendar and really schedule your time, because even if you're doing an hour a day, 5 days a week, that's an extra 5 hours into your business and towards your dreams and goals. It does make a difference. So take advantage of that. The next thing is to organize your office space. It really is important for you to have a space, even if it's not an office, you know, a room, even if it's just a desk or a place where you work, a corner of the living room couch or the dining room table or the kitchen counter. Let that be your workspace. When you're there, you're working. And when you need to take a break, get up and go somewhere else. This is actually a situation that I found for myself. I had to separate my workspace from relaxation space because I found that when I was supposed to be working, I wanted to relax and watch TV. Or when I was watching TV, my work stuff was in the way. So I tried as much as possible to separate the two. So where I have my workspace, that space stays for work. When it's time for me to eat, I get up and I move. Even if it's shifting 2 or 3 feet, I do that. So I know, you know, when I'm here, this is the mindset that I'm in. And when I'm there, I'm in, you know, work mode. So my spaces determine the my emotions and, you know, how I feel about the work that I'm doing. So try to clear out a space for each thing that you want to work on. And then lastly, might have been it should maybe it should have been first, but lastly, it's to learn your business. This is super important. I have found this repeated as I read different articles about different entrepreneurs and people on their side hustle. People were saying, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, learn it. Set apart the time to figure out the mechanics of whatever it is that you want to do. Talk to other people. Get in touch with people who have experience with what you want to do. Do studies, do research. Don't just, you know, stop one day, quit your day job, and jump into your business like, okay, I'm going to dive in now. I'm going to, you know, do X, Y, and Z. Take some time and do your research. Do YouTube videos, which are great training for a multitude of different fields. There are so many people doing YouTube videos for a variety of topics. So get on YouTube, watch other people's videos, see what they're doing and how they're doing it. Read other people's blogs and posts. Read papers and journals. Really educate yourself and try as much as possible to learn the mechanics of what you're doing. And this is something that actually holds true whether it's a side hustle that you're working on or a full-time career, because you do want to understand how things work. You don't necessarily always want to jump up and hire a team of 10 people and, you know, send them to work. Sometimes it's really helpful for you to just learn each piece so that you can manage as your business grows. So, you know, keeping that idea of the possibilities down the line, it really will help you to get a well-rounded idea of your business and what it is that you'll be doing. So take the time to study up, learn, and develop yourself. Apply that to your business in the time that you have set aside for it, and you will really start to see the payoff later on. And these are tips that I found from doing research into side hustles myself. Once I realized that this is something that was trending, I wanted to see what other people were thinking about it and if other entrepreneurs were getting the same results and feeling the same way that I felt about this. So I hope that this helps you, whether you're already in a side hustle and you're looking to really establish yourself and grow, or if you're trying to pick a side hustle and decide on what it is that you want to do. I am super happy with my side hustle, and that's why I'm doing these videos with you guys, because I believe in it so much. And it's gotten to the point where I'll go to events and I'll actually introduce myself as a person who does my side hustle. So I introduce myself with my side hustle first. And the other day I had a friend who said to me, why don't you ever introduce yourself with the career that you have? And I'm like, well, yeah, I could do that, but this is more fun. So get to the point where you're doing something that you're excited and passionate about and that you love, and that will shine through and that will motivate you through the tough times, because the side hustle, whatever it is that you choose, it's not going to be easy. Building a business never is. And, you know, don't be fooled. Don't let anyone tell you, you know, if it's a career that's salary, that it'll be easier, because building a business is just difficult. It takes time and energy and effort and commitment. So to get you through that time you need that commitment, choose something that you'll enjoy, and then it won't feel as much like work. And you'll be enjoying it, and you'll be successful in it, and other people will see your success and be inspired to go out and start side hustles of their own. So go out, do whatever it is that you're doing to the best of your ability, and I will be talking to you guys next week with more tips and tricks and trainings, and I'm looking forward to hearing your success stories as well. Share them in the comments box below so that I can cheer you on and follow along with you, because this of course is a network as well. So looking forward to hearing from you guys. Have an awesome evening, and I will be back soon.